So this kind of angle with the back camera obviously looks better. You can see the even the plastic film, rather than giving that bad glare, the camera on the other side of the iPad works a lot better than that. You can't see the little timer right there very good. I don't know. I don't think that'll be on the clip. I don't think that watermarks the clip or whatever. So anyway, so we're looking through the pages here and pushing a little more of the story out there and experimenting with some different techniques. And basically what we've got here is there's a little bit of finishing out to do. Like you can see where his pupils over here, missing pupils there. I never fill in anybody's mouth. I don't know why, but I just always have to go back and do that later because it doesn't even occur to me most of the time. And like there I did. I guess because those lines are just shading in the mouth cavity. Anyway, so I'm going through. We've got some hand lettering examples, and then most of the book is not lettered. A couple of these pages are. Done in digital. As you can see, I've gone back and added my visual sounds in a way, and I really didn't. I'm trying not to overdo it because I really enjoy twisting and turning letter forms and stuff like that. And because we used to do graffiti. But basically, it would take oceanfront property, to get me to hand letter this whole book. It's insane. And especially on like sometimes I like to use tracing paper because I want to double up certain images, and that's it. I'm not trying to make myself do it all by hand. That's what most of this first book was about, was seeing what I could do just from my imagination and from memory. And it turned out all right. This stuff looks pretty cool, and that's going to be added. I'm going to change that digitally, but right now I don't have the tools to do it. And also, if I'm going to expect to crank out any sort of regular book, I can't even mess with that, and I need to pass it off to someone else who's capable. But then I added, extra panels here. I left that blank purposefully because I didn't want to draw this whole thing on this tracing paper that I was using to do. And I'm really not sure why I did that. Why I used that paper. There was something about it that I thought I needed to do it on that paper. But like this right here, that's sufficient. That's nice and dynamic, but like the paper just really messed with me on these other ones with trying to do that with the ballpoint and stuff. Different art techniques. I have to go back over that. I can't leave that. I hate the S. I don't know. Those H's aren't too bad, but these S's are all just blobby and stupid. That's not. That's, I don't know. It's juvenile. I don't like the way it looks. So live and learn, right? I'm going through that stuff, hacking up the entire book. Now I took this page, which was a big drawing of 2 panels, and took the bottom panel, added it to this. And I don't actually know if I'm going to keep this where he comes up out of the missile silo anymore. I don't know if I'm really going to make that part maybe he just finds his way out and then flies, and then there's bad glare, and then falls because he just can't fly yet. You know, little plot points that don't necessarily pivot the plot, I guess. And so then there's other like hand letterings. I have to go back and take that all out digitally because it's totally inconsistent with the other stuff. Or maybe not. Maybe we'll decide, that to the reader, it doesn't throw the rhythm of the book off, and so maybe it'll stay. Then also I'm considering stuff like if I start putting in blobs of black, am I not basically coloring it myself? So, sorry that's so shaky. I shouldn't have mounted this to the desk. I knew that too. There's certain things I've decided on. Other things I'm totally open to input. Also, through a lot of the book, I didn't do any shading. Contour lines and a little bit shadow stuff behind and underneath things where they had to be dark down in here. But then, with the more recent pages and stuff, I've been drawing the styles evolving with every panel. Here you can see some of my hatching down there. Really makes it feel a lot more like my style, like I'm conveying that image. It allows me to get a lot closer to what I want to convey in an image. And even this looks a lot better in the video here than it does on the page because it's shrunk down a bit and just makes all that detail that much tighter. So I'm considering the shrinking in the classic format, but right now, I did the entire first book, an 8.5 by 11, and that's just what it's going to be, and I decided that, and I'm not so stone cold set on that it has to, all the other books have to be that way or whatever. But it is what it is because I did it on a budget. And so I'm all right with shrinking it down because I really do see the added dynamic of it. But also, I don't want to lose too much of my line. And then you kind of have to just put it into print and then get it back into your hand to see what that does to it to really understand how to draw for that format. And this is more stuff with just no shading at all, minimal. Right there inside that cuff, you can see some of those hatchings, and I just call it, when I'm talking to myself, because I do that, I just call it that 80s window shade kind of lines, just putting them real close together. And that's just what it makes me think of. Everything makes me think of something from the 80s, though. So, you can see down here too. I'm not real happy with that. That's a little sloppy. I think to me, I'm shrunk down. That's not as bad as it looks. I'm a little bigger, but yeah, I was doing some stuff with some different mediums, and then sometimes it ends up being so sloppy that you really have to go back over it. You just don't like it. If I like it, then I consider it fine for the viewer, because as long as I like the way it looks, then it's something cool to look at. And that's what comic books are all about. Added bonus is that my story has socially redeeming value. Social justice. Warriors, come out and play. So, anyway, that's D-Rangel. This thing, it's always created by a mad scientist. And, hi.
Do you want right now in the bookcase?
There's absolutely
red cover. No.
The box?
It's not in there. There's
No, I do not know. Yeah, as far as the actual storyline, we have other characters that are thrown in for conflict. Not every conflict is from a bad guy. Not every bad guy is part of the conflict that our heroes directly face, and that's like that. See, they drag him into the kitchen because they're idiots. They don't know what else to do. But like our hooded Emperor Palpatine figure here, there's a lot to be done with this this character, because I can take this 2 different routes already that I'm really excited about both of them, but the one combining the 2 surprise endings I can give to who this mysterious character is. I really like the idea of, and that reaches into where I need other creative people to jump in and give me some feedback on what you guys really think of Spat and Flip. And they find this creature. What do we do with this thing? Because we're this rock band, and we're certainly not planning on fighting crime with our lives. Other ideas, we could, it doesn't have to go that direction, but I think it could be a great turn to take. So I'm rambling. I'll go ahead and cut it there, and then we'll get back to it with the next episode, or maybe when I get you all on a conference call. So, and we won't be so shaky next time. So, thank you.